Hey guys, it's Rachel from Hope Corner Farm. By day I'm a home ec teacher who teaches hundreds of students how to crochet, quilt, sew, and cook. And today I'm going to teach you how to crochet the bead stitch. So the bead stitch gives this lovely kind of textural detail to your crochet work. It's really not that hard. You just need to know how to chain, how to single crochet, double crochet, and then I'm going to teach you our kind of special stitch, the slanting cluster stitch, to create this bead stitch. So let's grab a hook and some yarn and we'll get crocheting. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos, and don't forget to give me some feedback on this video. Give me a like or a comment, let me know what I did well or things that I could improve upon. So for the bead stitch, you actually have to have an odd number of stitches. Now, how you get those odd numbers can differ. So you could either start with a foundation single crochet like I have started with here. So I have 7 foundation single crochets. Or you could chain and you would chain an even number. So that way by the time you single crochet across those chains, you would then have an odd number. So if I wanted 7 by chaining and single crocheting, I would chain 8. Then I would place a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and in each chain across, and that would give me 7 single crochets. Either way, you need an odd number for your row. So right now here I have 7 foundation single crochets. If you want to see and learn how to foundation single crochet, I'm going to include a link to a couple of videos below that you can check out. But anyways, I have 7 foundation single crochets here. So to get into the bead stitch, I need to start by chaining 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to turn. Now I'm ready to actually get into my bead stitch. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this first single crochet right here, this first foundation single crochet. So you skip the first stitch. So we're actually going to work into this second stitch right here. So into the second stitch, I'm going to place a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, go into that second stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and pull through 2. If you need to see how to double crochet in slower, more detailed movements, I've got a link for a video to that as well. Now around this double crochet, I'm going to work my very first bead stitch. And so how do I do that? So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go into this space in between these 2 stitches right here. I'm going to come up, yarn over, and basically my yarn over is going to pull around that double crochet's post. So now I've got 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to repeat. I'm going to yarn over, go in and around, yarn over, pull through that space. Now I've got 5 loops on my hook. I have 1 more I need to do. Yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull around that post. Now I have 7 loops on my hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through 6 loops at this point. So I'm not going to pull through this very last loop. I'm just going to pull through 6 of them. So I'm going to yarn over and gently pull through 6 of those loops there. Now I have 2 loops left on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through both loops, and that completes the bead stitch. So I've now completed my very first bead stitch. So what's actually going on here is what we call a slanting cluster stitch around that double crochet. So just so you know, that's what makes that bead stitch, is a slanting cluster. Now we're going to skip this next stitch and we're going to go into the following stitch. So we're not crocheting here, we're going here. So into this stitch we put our double crochet again. So yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through the space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we've created a double crochet, and we're going to put a slanting cluster stitch around that double crochet post to get a bead stitch. So yarn over, go into this space, come to the back side, yarn over, pull through the space. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through the space. Now I've got 5 loops on my hook, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through the space. Now I've got 7 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 6 of those loops. Now I've got 2 loops left on my hook, yarn over, pull through both loops, and that completes a second bead stitch. So I have one more bead stitch I'm going to complete for this row, so I'm not going into this stitch. Again, I'm skipping this stitch and I'm going into this next one here. So I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to put my double crochet into that next stitch there. Now I've got my post to work around. So yarn over into this space, yarn over, pull through the space. There's 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over into this space, yarn over, pull through the space. Now there's 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through the space. Now there's 7 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 6 of those loops. That leaves me with 2. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that's created a 3rd bead stitch. Now in this very last stitch here, I'm going to place another double crochet. So we're going to go double crochet into this very last stitch here. And that completes our first row. So this is what it looks like when you're done here. So when I had 7 stitches, that gave me 3 bead stitches for that row. So you can see what that looks like. Now the next row, you actually have to do a row of single crochets. So you can't do bead stitch on top of bead stitch. You kind of have a little bit of a border in between them. So what I would do for the next row is I would chain 1 and turn. And then I'm going to place 1 single crochet in each of those stitches. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 into that turning chain. So we're not going into this space right here. We're actually going to start right here. So I'm going to go 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then my 7th is going to go into the last chain of this turning chain. So I'm going to go right here for my 7th. So you want to keep it so you have 7 stitches. If you're getting 8 or 6 or a different number than what you started with, you're not going into the right spot. So again, I'll take these out here so you can see this. I've chained 1 and I've turned. I am not going into this space right here. I'm ignoring this space. I'm actually going to do my first single crochet into this space right here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then my 7th is going to go into this last chain of that turning chain, and that makes 7. Okay, and you could count those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there are all your V's that you could count. So now we're going to go on to another row. So we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn. Now it's going to be a repeat of the bead stitches. So for the bead stitch, you're going to do a row of bead stitches, then a row of single crochet, then you can do another row of bead stitches as long as your pattern indicates. So now we're ready for the next row. So we're going to skip this very first chain, so we're going to ignore it. Or not chain, but first space, we're going to ignore it. We're going to go into the 2nd stitch right here. So yarn over, we're going to do a double crochet into this 2nd stitch. Now we're ready to put a bead stitch around the post here. So yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through the space, yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through the space. Now I've got 5 loops on my hook. Yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through the space. Now I've got 7 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 6 of those loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, skip this stitch. We're going into this stitch here. So basically you work into 1, skip 1, work into 1, skip 1 across. So yarn over into this space right here, yarn over, pull through. We're going to put a double crochet there. We're going to work a bead stitch around that post. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, pull through 6 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Skip the next stitch, go into the 3rd one, or to the next one here, sorry. So not this one, but this one is what we're going to work into next. So yarn over into that space, put a double crochet. Then we're going to work a slanting cluster around it to make our bead stitch. So we're going to do that 3 times. Now I've got 7 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through 6 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then I'm going to skip this stitch and I'm going to put my last double crochet in this very last stitch. It's a little wonky looking. That is my turning chain is what I'm working into here. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to work my turning chain. And I would just keep repeating. So my next row would be single crochets. So I'd chain one, turn, I'd skip this first one, I'd go into the second one and then place one single crochet in each stitch across. And I'm just going to keep repeating this row with this row with this row all the way across. And that's the bead stitch and crochet. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos. And I hope you guys have a blessed day.